Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Wednesday, May 18th. It's 6:20 right now. Market's going to open in about 10 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and set up the room real quick. Then we'll get started with our session for today. Got everything marked up here. Looks good. Looks good right there. A few more things here, and then we should be good to go. Looks like everything's pretty much good to go. So let me send this link out to you guys here in the premium, and then we can get started with our session for today. All right, looks good. Link sent out. Looks like we are ready to go. All right, so as people make their way in, I'm going to go ahead and mark up the liquidity on the clean chart over here. All right, so what I've been doing is I've been leaving the liquidity up from areas that have not been tested if they haven't been tested in the past. And I'll show you guys that later. A lot of my other charts are already marked up, so I will show you guys those charts. However, this clean chart over here will typically just have like the newer areas of liquidity. There's like no liquidity on the bottom right here. But if you look back in the past, there's a lot of other liquidity areas that have not been tested yet. So this is pretty much all of the liquidity here on the clean chart. And you guys will see shortly, there's a lot that actually hasn't been tested yet. So morning, Saren, morning, Maria, morning, Mauricio, morning, Ruin, morning, Peter, morning, Marco, morning, Rami, morning, everybody. So as you guys can see right here, this is just the liquidity here on the clean chart. If you guys look over here on the markup chart, there's a lot more liquidity here that has not been tested yet. So specifically on the top end. So there's a lot of liquidity here on the top end that hasn't been tested yet. You'll see a lot more on the higher timeframes as well. I pretty much just left them up. Like if I was marking them up yesterday or even like the day before and I haven't really cleaned up the chart, they're still on the chart. So you can see right here, specifically on the 10-minute, there is a lot of liquidity here on the bottom, like a lot. There's a ton of liquidity here on the bottom. So this doesn't necessarily mean that price is just going to go up. There's actually a lot of liquidity here on the bottom that hasn't been tested. So we'll take a look at our overall analysis. Once we see everything, we'll kind of determine where price may likely go. And then we will have these areas of liquidity to identify where price may possibly be pushing to, which will always be useful for all of us. Anyways, back to the, I'll just leave it here on the 10-minute. There's not really much for us to look at anyways, since the market is still not open. But yeah, just a reminder, guys, today is Wednesday, May 18th. It is 6:24 right now. And we are having our mentoring session today. So a lot of people ask to just have it at our usual time, guys. So we'll be having it at 2 p.m. today. And other than that, I think that's pretty much it to go over right now. Market's going to open shortly in about 6 minutes. So there was a V3 here that did come up. I know some people mentioned this earlier. I wasn't awake when this came up. This was at 5:30. But if you guys did take the V3 right here, this would have hit full TP right there. About 600 or so pips. You know, the 10-minute is like by far my most favorite chart to follow. If you're looking for something that's not so risky and it's for a smoother move, 10 minutes is typically the good time frame to be trading on. I know we trade on the 1 minute here on the live because we don't have much time, but the 10-minute is usually a good starting point if you guys want to start and trade something that isn't as risky as the 1 minute. Other than that, morning Lisa, morning Miles, morning Andreas, morning Steven, morning Fahad. Nice. Fahad said good morning, everyone. Out here from Germany on my phone for the breakout. Good luck, Fahad. Hopefully it's a smooth one. Morning, David. Morning, Jez. Morning, Rami. Morning, everybody. Fahad said he can't hear anything on his phone. It might be your volume. Is my volume working for you guys? I think it should be. Everyone said it's fine. So I think it just might be your phone, Fahad. Nice. Yeah, Rami said 10 minutes goaded. Got 250 pips off of that V3. Nice. All right, cool. So everyone confirmed that the volume is fine, Fahad. It might just be your your volume on your end. Let me check real quick. All right, so everyone said they could hear me, so it looks like we're good. Okay, got it, Fahad, perfect. All right, guys, so market's gonna open in about 4 minutes. Let's take a look at the retail sentiment. Retail sentiment is currently 63% long, indicating that 63% of retail traders are on the long side buying right now. So you wanna do opposite and sell. So with that said, we're probably gonna be looking for sells again today. Looking over here at the fundamentals, fundamentals are currently down 284 points. So it does align with our bias for today. Our bias is definitely going to be a sell overall. Looking at the technicals as well, prices below the pivots, trend meters red. We're definitely looking for sells today, guys. So for the breakout this morning, if we do get a sell breakout, then I'll probably take it. If not, then I'll probably hold off until price does come back down. So we'll confirm that when market does open. Currently right now, we do have a bullish momentum. So we do need a sell momentum before we can start looking for any sells here with regard to the breakout. Other than that, yeah, no problem, Fahad. Other than that, I think that's it for right now. We've taken a look at retail sentiment. We've taken a look at fundamentals. The heat map over here, I'll refresh this as well. It should be pretty red. Yeah, it's literally all red. So the heat map is all red as well. So definitely looking over here at our overall bias, I'm definitely looking for a sell. Other than that, I think that's it for right now. Let's give it a few more minutes for people to make their way in. All right, looks good. Hey, Kenny, morning. So what else we got over here? I think that is about it for now. Hey, Barack, morning. So I pretty much got the liquidity all marked up here. I'll try to keep as much liquidity marked up on the higher time frames as possible, specifically on the 10-minute, because that's usually where we look for entries. And you guys can use those as, basically price points where you can anticipate price to continue pushing to. Like, for example, if we get a sell entry here, probably expect it to push down lower. One thing that you want to keep in mind is that there are still sessions on the chart, though. So we'll keep that in mind when we start looking for entries on open. So market's going to open in about a minute and 10 seconds. When the market does open, as I mentioned earlier, we're looking for sells today. So probably going to be looking for a sell signal to confirm that. Other than that, I think we're good for the most part. Hey, Barack, morning. Kenny, morning. All right. We got about 40 seconds till open. Make sure there's no. So one thing that you guys want to keep in mind is that there is a sessions right here. So if we do get a sell for the breakout, want to be a bit careful if it gets near the sessions right there. So there goes the breakout strategy. There goes the red flags. Main thing to look for is sessions right there. All right, guys, market's going to open in about 10 seconds, sorry. Yeah, Matthew said since retail bias is bullish, anticipating a strong push to the downside, then go back up. That or we might see the opposite, strong push to the upside and then drop, Matthew, since, as you mentioned, the retail bias is bearish, actually. I'm not sure if you saw that differently, because it's bullish right here. It's showing that retail traders are on the long side. So we're definitely gonna look for a sell. So it might push to the upside and then come back down. That's kind of what I see happening here. I think overall price will come down. we might get an initial push to the upside, but I think overall price will come down. All right, so there's not very much volatility right here on open. Yeah, price isn't even moving at all. I'm looking over here at MT4 on my FTMO. It's lagging a little bit, guys. I don't know what's going on with the connection's been kind of screwed up lately. It is lagging a bit, not like a crazy amount, but it is lagging. If this closes with the sell signal and a strong red candle, then this would be a sell for the breakout. Man, I don't know what's up with the connections, guys. Like the data connection between brokers have been off for the past couple of weeks now. Again, today it's a little off. It's not super off, but it is off a little bit. Maybe like by a second or so. All right, this liquidity's been broken. Delete that. I'll redraw liquidity a little later once we have a new one established. So yeah, the volatility is actually really dead right now. Let me check if there was news this morning. I don't know if that's one thing I forgot to check. So today, Wednesday, there was news at 5:30. That was pretty much it. 5:30, then 7:30. I'm just gonna mark this up right here in case we do get an entry. We don't have one yet, but just in case. So you got news coming up at 7:30. All right, possible entry here for the breakout, but as I mentioned, it's going to be right at the session, so it's going to be a bit risky to take if and when it does close. Because one of the red flags here, sessions. And this candle here is too big. So sessions and the candle is too big. Candle prior to entry is too large. So unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to be taking this one, guys. It doesn't even look like it's going to close. So it didn't even close right there. No entry at that point, but you can see where price bounced off directly off the sessions, right? Like literally came down in the sessions, bounced right off it, and then came right back up. Mark up opening price right there. Same with this one over here, opening price right there. Move this up a little bit. All right, so you guys can see right here where price is having an issue breaking through. You can see it's one of the red flags here. It's the reason why I don't take trades at that point. Again, price is still at the sessions. If this does close, it will technically be the breakout. It's not one that I recommend taking because it is a bit risky, but it is it'll technically be considered the breakout. Let me go over here and mark up. So no breakout off that yet. Still looking for a strong red candle. 634 right now. All right, whose price? It's right there. It's that small red candle right there. All right, we're done with that. So if this closes right here, this could be the breakout again, like I mentioned, but again, it's, it's obviously going to be a bit of a risky move because it's right at the sessions. We don't want it to be around the sessions. We don't want the candle to be too large prior. Again, this candle is kind of big compared to the others. It's not huge, but it is pretty big. It's about 400 pips. But again, it's right at the session. So last thing you want to do is get into a trade and then it spikes right back up just like it did right here. So this is the breakout right here, guys. But it is risky. It's not one that I'm going to take. I'll follow it. I'm just being conservative as usual because it's right at the session. It's like one of the main red flags. And the candle prior is just too large compared to the other candles. So not that I don't think it's going to hit TP. It's just that I think it's going to be a risky move for whoever decides to take it. I'm not taking it. So, that's your hint there that I don't think it's a really good entry. we'll follow it, but take it at your own risk, not one that I recommend taking, because it's literally right at the sessions. Like if it broke below here, maybe, but it's like literally right at the session. So it's not like, I wouldn't consider it a good trade at all. Right there. All right, so we'll see where it goes. If it comes up and hits stop loss, no surprise. And you can see right there, it's pushing up super heavy because it was right at the sessions. I'm waiting for the next trade. There's no rush to really enter anything. So exactly right there. See that they went straight into drawdown and to stop loss. That's why I told you guys not to take it. So hopefully nobody took it. You guys listened. I didn't take it myself. Two big red flags here. Candle prior to entry was too large and price was near the sessions. So, yep. Glad you didn't take it, Professor. So it seems like nobody here took the trade, which is smart move. Yeah, 13 said F that as well. He said made 40 profit, almost close to a loss of 1K. Steve, how did you fail your verification? Steven said, man, I took it, failed verification. You must have been over leveraging on that trade, Steven. Yeah, because if you've been following the way that you've been trading for the past, I mean, this whole time, you should have been fine, Steven, because you've been using par per lot sizing. Yeah, D said I listened and take it. Sam said not too many red flags. Yeah, and I agree. I'm glad a lot of you guys didn't take it. Steve, I'm not sure like what you did. We can talk about it later, but it seems like you might have taken like way too big of a lot size, because you've been taking trades every day and you've been making about 1,000. So you should have been fine. But yeah, I mean, we can talk about that later. Anyways, back to the charts over here, guys. We'll be looking for any other entries here. We still have a sell bias, but there just isn't anything for us to take right now. Nice. Yeah, Andreas said I didn't take it, also too risky. So you guys, you just got to be really smart about the entries you take. I'll show you guys when there's entries, but I'm going to try to warn you guys as much as possible not to take an entry. You know, the red flags here are not hard to identify, especially when I put an arrow next to them. You know, if you have one red flag, then okay, maybe it's maybe an okay trade. You have two red flags, definitely you should not take the trade, right? So just keep that in mind, guys. You guys got to be smart about the positions you take. You can't just take every single position and expect them to all hit. You know, whenever there's more than one red flag, you should probably for sure not take it. Nice. Janae said she didn't take it either. So nice work, guys. Good work on being disciplined and you know, understanding the riskiness of like certain positions, because like yesterday was kind of okay because it was like one red flag, or the day before that was like one red flag. But when you have like two or three, for sure should not be taking it. Oh man, it's all good. Swally didn't take it either. Nice work, Swally. Gallo said, I'm waiting for the 5 minute to show me a red indicating below before I think about entering. Yeah, no, definitely. Jennifer said no potential snipe because of sessions. Yeah, exactly. Red flag. Same red flag there, Jennifer. So it doesn't matter what time frame you're on. It's right at the sessions right here. Jennifer's asking if there's a snipe that might be available right here. So snipe strategy right there. Let me see if there is a. Yep, and there's a zone right there. So yeah, you're spot on with that right there, Jennifer. There is a snipe, but not one that I would personally take, specifically because you know, there's a session right there. Price is below it. So let me clean this up a little bit. Price is below the session, but you might get some retracement on this candle close. So this would be the snipe that you're looking at right here, Jennifer. The thing is, you're just worried about the retracement, right? Because if price does retrace up, it may come up and stop you out if it comes up to that point right there. And this is where the breakout would be. So here's like one thing that you guys could have done. One thing that you guys could have done if you still wanted to take the breakout, because the breakout did come back down. It was just a fake out right here, right? The fake out was because price was at the sessions, right? You guys have seen this before, and I always remind you guys, if you guys want to still take the trade and it's a risky trade here, due to the red flags, you guys can skip the first initial entry. You could have waited for it. And then as it came back down, you could have entered right here. Like you could have waited for it to pull back. And then you could have set a sell stop right here because we knew price was going to come down. The bias is telling us that price is a strong sell. So what you could have waited for is you could have waited for price to pull back. And then as soon as it came down, you could have had a sell stop and it would have went straight to your TP. Right, guys? So that's one way of doing things if you still wanted to take the trade, even though it was a risky trade. Because like I mentioned earlier, I said I didn't think that price was not going to come down to TP. I just didn't think it was going to come down right away because of the obvious red flags there. The sessions candle was too big. Next, Kevin actually did that. So Kevin said, that's what I did. He actually waited for it to pull back because he already anticipated the manipulation, right off the sessions. And then on the way down, he actually entered right here. And then he caught the TP. So nice work, Kevin. You've been paying attention. So it's good that you understood the risk there and you understood like the late entry aspect of it. Rami as well. So Rami said I caught the breakout on the way down. So nice, guys. 19 said, damn, that sucks. I held on to it though. It was pure manipulation. Yeah. And we already anticipated the manipulation because we know exactly where price was. Candle was too big, had to retrace up. It was also at the sessions. Let's see. Other than that, it looks like some of you guys here did, a lot of you guys here actually took it. There was a triple confluence right here, but I wouldn't have taken the trade for the specific reason that the sessions, but it looks like some of you guys here did take it. If you guys did take the triple confluence, looks like you might have hit CP already. Yeah, I went straight to TP. All right, anyways, I try to explain the analysis for that as much as possible. We'll be looking for any other entries here. Now that price is below these sessions over here, we'll have more opportunity to take some more trades. There's still this snipe that's technically running right now. So there is a snipe that's technically running right now. If you wanted to enter that for a late entry, same thing that I was discussing earlier, could have waited for it to pull back and then come back down. But I still find it to be a bit risky of an entry. So it's up to you guys if you guys want to take it. Maybe I'll take some partial entries here and there, but it's, again, I'm not going to take anything too risky today or in general. I typically don't take riskier trades. I do think price will probably come down a bit lower. If price comes down to this area of liquidity right here, then I think price will push through and knock out all of this liquidity right here. So if price does hit this point here, I do expect it to come down further and knock out the rest of it right there. But again, as I mentioned, it is still a bit risky because this candle has to confirm below the sessions here. Like what I would expect here is I would probably expect price to come up, retest the sessions, and then come back lower from there. Because the thing is, this candle here is so big that typically price does one of two things. It'll like retrace up to like the half of the body or the full move. So like either that there or a partial of it. Like right there. Typically that's a retracement that pulls back on. But we'll see where it goes from here. It doesn't necessarily always have to do that, but typically if you follow the pattern, that's generally how it moves. Other than that, there's nothing else for us to take right now. Nice. Maddie said he caught 1,500 off the snipe, made half my loss back. Nice, Maddie. Yeah, I'm probably going to take some speculative moves within here. Just take like a couple hundred pips here and there, but not necessarily going to catch the full move, specifically because of this right here. I'm looking for it to pull back a little more. There's nothing here off the 5-minute. What I'll do here on the 5-minute is I'll do the same thing. I'll mark up all of the areas of liquidity so that we can just follow through to see where price is likely to go. Because typically all liquidity has to get hit at some point. Thing is, people are always entering trades. So these areas of liquidity are always going to be they're going to be rampant around the area. Can't really see them here, but you can see them on the 10 minutes. I've marked these up from yesterday. I was trading last night actually, guys. I was trading a little bit. I did get caught in a couple of trades. There was like some spikes of volatility yesterday. I made some wins, made some losses. Not really much of a imprint on my account, but I was trading a bit last night. That's why I have these liquidity marked up, because it was from yesterday. Other than that, there's nothing for us to take right now. As you can see, the 10-minute here isn't really doing too much. The 5-minute over here, there's nothing to take right here right now. 3-minute, all this liquidity right here got hit, so I'm going to take these off. And then I will refresh. The liquidity right there, and one more down here. The 1 minute liquidity got pushed down a little lower, so we'll drag that down there. And here on the clean chart, looks like we have a couple areas of liquidity here that have been updated. So one thing here on the clean chart is I'm going to mark up opening price so that you guys can see where opening price is. This is news price. This is opening price. So you can see right here on open price is obviously bearish because our bias here is bearish. It's moving up to 7 o'clock. So what I could expect here from where price currently is until 7 is we might see a retracement, maybe a retracement upside to the news price or somewhere, or not news price, to the sessions, and then possibly another drop right back down further from there. It's 8 o'clock. So we'll follow it, but you guys can see your price is literally just ranging. I wouldn't be surprised if price pushes up higher because it needs to create a high. The thing with this here is there's no higher on this point. So it's going to push up somewhere on this area to create a high. And then it'll probably continue ranging from there. So I'll keep that marked up. Just keep this area in mind. That's where I think it'll push up to. It doesn't need to push up directly to the sessions. It's just going to push up to somewhere around here because there's no high right there, right? There's a low and there's a high. Once there's been a high established, like for example, right here, or even higher, you know, if price goes up somewhere around here, then it'll go into consolidation probably until 7. But basically that's kind of what I see happening at this point. I see price kind of consolidating for a bit until 7. Other than that, see if there's anything else over here. So let me just scroll up real quick and see what I am missing. Or let's take a look if anyone posted profits. So if you guys have profits to send in, feel free to post them up. Kenny over here sent in his profits. His first account, he locked in a total of 3,515. This is his first account. Nice work, Kenny. His second account, he locked in 4,174. Great work right there, Kenny. And I think that's it for Kenny right now. Kevin over here and John. So John locked in a total of 1,735. Nice work, John. Kevin over here as well. He traded a couple trades here on US30, locked in a total of 9,853. Great work right there, Kevin. 8,602 on this account. And then, yeah, same thing right there. He said he traded a lot this morning, made heavy profits, just use Sean's analysis, take speculative trades in the direction of bias, use areas of liquidity on higher time frames for extra confluence. Sean, you're the man. Trading's definitely gone to the next level. Definitely, Kevin. And that's key right here, guys. That's why I draw these areas of liquidity here. So, you know, depending on how you guys are following my analysis, you guys can kind of anticipate where price is going to go, right? Like, for example, if we're taking a sell here, like Kevin could pretty much anticipate it to go down to here because this is pretty much where I see it going as well. You know, and it's a smart move there for you guys to tie my analysis in with not necessarily any strategies, but where you guys think price is going to go. Because I do think price is going to come down. It's just going to be a matter of time. If you guys can have a wide enough stop loss to handle, you know, whatever move happens, then great. You know, that's going to be a game changer for you. But For me personally, it's just a risky move. I don't like taking risky moves. I like to know exactly when and where I'm going to win. You can take riskier trades and be okay with it, but for me personally, I like to know exactly when I'm going to win. Like I don't like losing any trade. So if I'm taking a trade, I'm already going to know where my exit's going to be. I know where my entry is going to be. I know how much profit I'm going to make. So just keep that in mind. Everyone trades differently. Some people are more conservative than others. Some people are more riskier than others. It's just up to your own preference, however you guys want to trade. Yeah, here we go. As price drops lower. And this isn't really much of a surprise because price is dropping in the direction of liquidity right here. And there you go, the snipe hit full TP. So Jennifer, I'm not sure if you took it. The analysis earlier kind of played out. It did retrace up a little bit and it came down and it hit TP. So definitely nice work right there. Professor said, would you consider putting a sell stop just below the low for the 10-minute trade? Sorry, Professor, I just saw your message right now. I actually did do that so earlier. Sorry, I literally was not paying attention because I was looking at the trade myself. What I did right here, guys, is I did exactly what Professor said. So I saw the low here was established, and I did have a sell stop right here. Sorry, guys, I'm trading kind of in my own zone right now, guys. So I mean, obviously, I'm not going to count these trades as like official trades because I'm taking speculative trades. This is just stuff that I'm seeing right here because, I'm doing the same thing Kevin's doing. I anticipated price to come below here, right? Because I told you guys that like a few minutes ago. I was like, okay, price is in a sell bias. It's probably going to come down and hit this area. When it hits this area, it's going to drop lower. So I'll post some of my profits, but I'm only going to post the profits from the live session. I'm not going to post with the profits from yesterday because people talk shit, right? And they still are talking shit. And it's like, it doesn't really bother me, but I don't want to be bothered by, I don't want people to be messaging me asking, oh, how did you take that trade? Can you teach me how to do this? Can you teach me how to take speculative trades, stuff like that? So sometimes less is better, because if I show you guys, I take a bunch of trades during Asia and you guys see that I'm taking trades during Asia, you guys are going to want me to teach you exactly what I do during Asia. And I just don't want the hassle of teaching everybody everything that I do. A lot of this stuff is it's just skill that you build up over time. Like if you guys just watch this live session again, and you guys see how I drew all these areas of liquidity, this is basically what Kevin's doing as well. We have an idea that price is coming down. The reason why we have the idea is because retail sentiment is short. You can see there's 65% of retail traders on the long side. So these people are probably going to get stopped out, right? If people get stopped out, where's price need to go? You need to go opposite of them, which is a sell. Fundamentals over here are currently down 418 points. So retail sentiment plus fundamentals are both a strong sell. Looking at the technicals over here, price is below the pivots and the trend meter is red. Where's price going? It's probably going to hit this point right here. So if you guys are able to use this analysis to identify where price is likely to go, you guys can see that you can take speculative sells here. Like if you have wide enough stop loss or you get in at a solid entry, you can cash low trades there. But yeah, I'll take a screenshot. I'll show you guys the profits I made there. There's no official entries that have come up yet. I'm still looking for those as well. But for right now, I'm just taking speculative sells as I continue to watch price drop further and further down to liquidity over here. So just an FYI. And this is stuff that you'll build up. Like Kevin joined K2, like how long ago, Kevin? You joined K2 like a couple of weeks ago, right? Or maybe a month ago. Kevin over here said, before K2, I used to use candlestick patterns, all kinds of indicators and other useless stuff. You don't need any of that. People overcomplicate trading. If you slow down, do proper analysis and risk management, your confidence will increase and you'll become profitable. So yeah, see, Kevin's been here for like 1 month. He has the confidence for my analysis and he also knows where price is going to go. So look where price touched right now. Price came down and it touched the area of liquidity. If price gets lower to this level, I would expect it to drop to this level right here because it's just going to knock out liquidity. That's basically all it's doing. So what I'll do right now is I'll take a screenshot of my profits on this live session. And then we'll just continue on with our analysis here. Like none of these trades are going to count as official trades because I want to be, 100% transparent with you guys with my trades here. But I'll just show you guys like what you can, what's accomplishable with proper analysis. A couple things too that I took into consideration are that there are no red flags right here, right? Price is not near sessions. Price is not near opening price. It's not near news price. Candles probably are not too big. They're just normal. So hopefully this will help you guys. Because here's the thing that I also want to emphasize, guys. K2 isn't the only way to trade, right? Like you can use different analysis. The way I trade is a combination of the strategies that I create to teach you guys how to trade. And then also it's a combination of just skill, right? Skill in identifying when and where to enter trades and when and where to exit. So looking for price to come down lower. So basically what I'm looking for is I'm looking for price to come down and hit either the middle area of this liquidity, or there you go, somewhere right there, or maybe even lower than that, because I probably do expect it to drop even lower from there. One more. Here. And I actually hit another TP there. So I had another TP here, as I mentioned. It's waiting for price to, I gotta take another screenshot of my profits, but I'll send you guys these profits right now. And then you guys can kind of look at my trade and see what I've been doing. But there's no official trades, guys. So when there is an official trade, I'll show you guys. There just isn't one right now, or there hasn't been one. But I'll show you guys my speculative trades here. If you guys want to go back and review them. Basically, all I took for these trades are areas of liquidity when liquidity was getting hit. So here are my profits for the day so far. You guys can see I took this at about 6:42, about like 10 minutes ago. Took these right here. These are not official trades though. These are just speculative trades that I took in the direction of liquidity, in the direction of bias. So these are all my accounts. My main account, you can see my TPs hit right there. Timo copier, MFF, second MFF, and my third MFF right here. But yeah, other than that, there's no official trade to take right now. I mean, if you guys have been part of K2 for a while, you guys know how the liquidity works, right? Maybe eventually I'll create a strategy for you guys to identify the liquidity, but I've explained liquidity before a lot of times in the past. So if you guys have watched, what I'd recommend is go back and watch the previous mentoring session, because I explained how do I take these speculative trades here with regards to liquidity. But there's nothing to take right now. So there's nothing here on the 10. There's nothing here on the 5, nothing here on the 3, and nothing here on the 1 for official entries. What I'm saying is official entries, meaning, any of these strategies here, none of these are available at the moment. So at the moment, I'm just catching these pushes to liquidity because there's a lot of liquidity right here. Once this liquidity is hit, then we got more down here and etc. Yeah, no, exactly. Ruin said, probably a hot topic on the mentoring session today. Yeah, if you guys want to ask about it, we can cover it. But you guys got to be present for the mentoring session. So if you guys have been missing the mentoring session, you guys have been missing pretty much all these little small other strategies that we've been looking at. So I'm pretty much just waiting for an entry. You don't have any entries here available right now. I guess what I could do now is just take another screenshot of the rest of my profits because I took another trade there earlier. here. All right, now at this point, I'm pretty much just waiting. I mean, there's nothing for me to take at the moment. We're back to ground one, so we see anything that has come up. Volatility pretty much died down heavily right now. As you guys can see, there's nothing really going on. Let's see. All right, so I guess I can take another screenshot of my profits real quick. There's nothing that I've taken at the moment. Basically, price is just bouncing off the liquidity here. It'll probably make its way back down, but no other levels at this point. There's nothing here. 3 minute right there, or 5 minute actually, 3 minute right there. And the 1 minute price is pretty much just establishing a new area of consolidation. So at this point again, right here, not really much happening, just some more consolidation right there. But here's the profits that I pretty much, I'll just put nice profits locked in. Speculative moves, direction of overall bias. And there's more profits being sent in. So I'll take a look at everyone's profits here as well. I don't want to just bombard you guys with my own profits when a lot of other people here are doing the same thing I'm doing. So looking over here, let's see, Chuck over here locked in a total of 1,176. Nice work, Chuck. Nelly over here locked in a total of 2,428. Nice work, Nelly. Kevin over here currently up 12,453. All wins, no losses. He said the last two trades were speculative based on price pushing to liquidity. Exactly what I did right there as well. And Rami over here currently up about well over 200 right here, and his second account a bit more right here as well. 200, 300, 400, about 400 right there. So yeah, Rami said liquidity pushes so above, and I passed on my verification on my main account, just opened micro lots for the next 2 days. Yeah, just got to hold off on that for now, Rami. Let me just copy this over to the other accounts, or the other pages actually. All right, but there hasn't been any official trades, guys. So just FYI, if you guys are wondering if there's any official trades yet, there isn't any. The breakout wasn't one that I would have taken, so just waiting off those. But other than that, we have Joshua over here. His first account, he's up 468. Nice work, Joshua. His second account, he's up 238 on this one. So all wins, no losses here. Pretty much everyone here is doing what I'm doing, right? You can see their sells here. Pretty much just trading the direction of liquidity. Exactly what I did. Cameron over here as well. Locked in a total of 4,699. His trades from this morning, you can see they're from 1625. Basically, this trade all the way down here, all wins. Nice work, Cameron. Charles over here, locked in a total of 1,766 for the day. Nice work, Charles. Vincent over here as well, locked in a total of 527. Milzon over here, locked in a total of 967 off this account. 934 off his second account, and then 1,900 off his third account. Nice work, Milzon. Great consistency across your accounts right there. Kenny over here up 3,515. And other than that, a couple more up here. Narith over here, locking a total of 7,902. All these trades right here were taken, past couple minutes. And then again, he took another trade here, locking a total of 9,938. Nice work, Narith. All right, guys, solid work. So glad to see a lot of you guys here locking in some pretty solid profits. A lot of you guys here are taking just trades in the direction of momentum and the direction of liquidity. Charles is asking, was your sell based off 10-minute liquidity? Yes, it was. So if you go back, I don't have it marked up here anymore, but there was like 3 levels of liquidity. When it passed the first level, I took one little push. The second one, I took it once you got to the middle area of liquidity. Volatility is kind of low, so it doesn't really hit as quick as I want it to, but it does hit within that little area. So that's pretty much where I entered. There's like one right here. So that's the one trade that I took, and I'll send my other one that's here over here as well. The other one is right here, because I did take a second one. So can I just post it up? Oh, let me fix this last one first. Yeah, so if you guys want to go back and look at that picture there, you guys will see. And I'm just showing you guys the trades that I took during the live, because those are the people that I always want to talk about. I don't want people asking so many questions about what I do during Asia. So this is basically right here. So this is the first one I took, Charles. When it hit the first level of liquidity, this is when it got to the middle of it. I took a double dip. So that's why I have 3 wins right here at TP. So again, right here, it just took another speculative sell. You can see the timestamps. I took them like not too far away from each other. This was the one after it. So technically I have like 3 wins right here. Just speculative trade. There's nothing too crazy. Just, low pushes. When I saw liquidity hitting, like again, right here, see how price is pushing down again? If price reaches liquidity again at this area, like the middle point of this, then I'll probably catch it again for like another 100 pips. Because I do expect it to hit the next level. And as you guys can see, 100 pips isn't that much. See that? So I can literally enter when it gets halfway down right here, and I can still hit my TP as price continues to push lower. Because it's not a really big push. Right there where it currently is. So you guys, a lot of you guys already know how this works, because you guys have said it on my mentoring sessions where I went over liquidity. Typically, liquidity that you guys want to mess around with is when price is like is near like 2 levels, not necessarily just one, but there's got to be like 2 levels there, because the 2 levels make a big difference. That's like price will push to the next level, and there you go, another full TP right there. So I just locked in another one. I'm not gonna take any more screenshots. I'm kind of tired of taking. I took too many screenshots already. So just think of another 1,000 profit below there. I've taken too many screenshots already. It's harder when I take like 5 accounts, because it takes me forever to screenshot everything. But you guys can see here, it did exactly what I just, pretty much mentioned, right? It's you're looking for these 2 areas of liquidity. When you got 2 areas there, like for example, this right here, I won't be messing with speculative trades at this point, because they're too spread out. If they're right next to each other, then all right, you can take like a quick little push there, because prices is going to end up hitting that point. Like for example, we see a retracement here. If it pushes up and then comes back down, I might double dip into it and then catch another 100 pips right there. Like when it comes down again right here, another 100 pips. It's really simple, guys. It's not that difficult if you guys understand what I'm referring to. You know, if you guys don't understand this and want to, you probably want to go back and review the previous mentoring sessions or attend the mentoring session today, and I'll go over it again in detail. But yeah, for the most part. Yeah, I'm on the 10-minute right here, Patricia. That's correct. I am on the 10-minute. Nice. So Kevin, he took that little prof right there. Josh caught it as well. Nice, Maddie. Nice recovery on your account too. Matthew's asking, what do you do during Asia? During Asia, nothing really. Ramy's asking, Sean, do you keep 300 pip stop loss for liquidity push? It seems to be fine for me when it's pushing liquidity. Maybe I should leave it. Yeah, no, I do leave it at 300, guys. Typically for myself, whenever I take any trades, I don't use a stop loss higher than 500. If I'm taking speculative trades, I keep it at 300 because I want to minimize my losses in case it does pull back on me. But I can always re-enter at some point later if I do end up having a loss, and I'll just make it back. So for the most part, I usually use 300 pips and 100 pip TP, Rami, because I'm not really going for a big push. I'm just going for a little liquidity, pushing the direction to the next level. So yeah, typically I just use same TP stop loss for speculative trades. And then if I'm taking like the snipe or something like that, I'll use a 500 pip stop loss, and that's the widest I'll go. I usually don't go wider than 500 pips. I missed another entry right here. So this is another one I told you guys I was going to take. I was like, okay, if price swings up and then comes back down, I was going to take it for another 100 pips, which I could have taken right there, but I didn't. A lot of this stuff is just intuition, guys. I mean, it's just not really intuition. It's more so just identifying where price is going to bounce from. So right there, you could have taken it again. Like, as I mentioned, 100 pips is not that much. You could have taken its price retrace back up to the area of liquidity, taken again for like, this probably could have been like 3 or 4 entries for 100 pips here. And then again, if you entered it late, you guys can see how big this range is. So here's what I want to show you guys. Just like what Rami said, typically if you're going for 100 pips and your stop loss is like 300 pips, you can see how many times you can double dip into this, right? Because your stop loss is like way up here. So it's like, okay, price pushes up, hits TP, pushes up, hits TP, pushes up, hits TP. It's like 3 or 4 back-to-back wins right there. That's the only reason why I use the stop loss. But you guys should not be doing this unless you guys know what you're doing. So I only enter trades when I know price is going to come back down. Don't just enter for whatever reason. Like if price goes up here, don't just be like, okay, I'm going to enter a trade for whatever reason it's going to come back down. Typically, it's not going to come back down. It's only at certain price points. But I'm done for right now with this. I'm also not going to take any more screenshots. I've taken too many screenshots already so far. I don't want to go and take any more. But I'll just add another description here. Direction of overall bias towards liquidity. So the thing with these entries right here, guys, like these liquidity pushes, you're not supposed to take them like 100 times, right? Because I can see a lot of people, this is another reason why I don't like teaching this strategy to anybody, because I know a lot of people get greedy, and I know a lot of you guys here are very greedy, and you guys don't know when to stop. Sorry, guys, 1 second. All right, back to what I was just saying, guys. This strategy, I mentioned it before when I first taught you guys this liquidity push. This is one that I don't plan on teaching anybody because I know a lot of you guys here are greedy, and it's fine. That's normal. That's how trading is, right? Once you find something that works very well, you get greedy and you just want to take every single entry. For this right here, you know, I'll double dip or quadruple dip into this. I took it about like 4 times today. You can see my entries right here. I took it 3 times. I actually took 1 more. after this. But at that point, I'm like, okay, I've already dipped into this enough times where it's going to have to pull back at some point, right? And it did pull back right here. So this is another reason why I don't teach this strategy to anyone specifically, or this way of trading, because I already know a lot of you guys want to get into every single trade, and then you're going to get caught up on the wrong side. So if you guys want to watch this, go back and watch the previous mentoring sessions, or if you want me to go over it today, I can go over it today as well. But there's only a certain amount of times where you guys want to try to push into it. 2 times is usually a good enough time, or good enough times for you guys to double dip into liquidity push. 2 times is still, I mean, it's still a lot depending on like where the liquidity is sitting. Or you can do it, 4 times. I think 4 times is like the max times that I would do it. Even though this came down like maybe 6 or 7 times, I probably wouldn't do it more than 4. Other than that, let's see if there's anything else here that I'm missing. No official entries on the 5, no official entries on the 3, no official entries on the 1. There's technically a V3 here that's pending right now. I think the stop loss will be too tight though. Yeah, it's too tight, Maddie. You need a minimum stop loss of 300 pips. Right there. So yeah, technically a V3, but it wouldn't fit the requirements here for the minimum stop loss. 300 pips. Let's see, Maddie said V3 on the 10. I don't see one over here, Maddie, for the 10-minute. Oh, 1 minute, okay. Yeah, there was a V3 there that was technically building up, but the stop loss was too tight on that right there. Let me scroll up real quick. Okay, so Mehdi wants me to take a look at the most recent triple confluence. Mehdi say, hey Sean, can you talk to me about the triple confluence that hit stop loss? Was it this one right here? One thing that I would look at right here specifically is this candle is pretty big, right? So if you measure it, I mean, you can kind of see it's bigger than the other candles. So I think that would be considered a red flag for me specifically. Yeah, this candle was like about, I mean, closer to like 400 pips. If you measure this compared to these other candles here, it's like double this candle, and it's like double this candle and double this candle over here as well. So you can see this candle right here is really big compared to it. That's pretty much one of the red flags right here for the candle prior entries is too large. Your stop loss is 300 pips. So the reason why we skip trades when they're too big is, as I mentioned before, like whenever price is too big, or when the candle is too big, it usually retraces halfway or full of like a full move of the candle. Like for example, see this big candle right here? And I'll circle it. See this big candle right here? When this happens, you can see that this candle right here pushes to the halfway mark, right? Typically, when the candle's too big like that, it'll push up halfway or the full candle. Full candle is 200 pips, half of the candle is 100 pips, right? And it's exactly at the halfway mark. The problem with this candle over here is that this candle is like 400 pips, right? So if it's 400 pips or close to it, it's going to be wider than your stop loss. Your stop loss is 300 pips. So if it has to pull up and retrace to the full candle, then it's going to stop you out before it comes back down. So one of the reasons why I wouldn't have taken that right there is, well, I mean, the only reason would be because the candle is too big. I mean, one thing that you guys got to keep in mind is these red flags. I keep trying to remind everybody, there's like a few things to look out for. And that's pretty much the main thing. So the candle is too big because you don't want to get caught in the retracement. Like for example, right here, price did retrace up a little bit, or a lot of it actually retraced to the full candle size, and then now it's on its way back down. So for the most part, this triple confluence right here, and I'm pretty sure this is the one you're referring to, is that it was just way too big. Looks like it dropped in profit slightly. Actually, it looks like it might have hit TP. So I mean, depending on where you entered the trade, it looks like it might have hit TP. Not sure. Because it looks like it came up a little bit and it came down and hit TP. I mean, I guess for some people it would have hit TPs, for some people it didn't. Let me see over here real quick. Oh gosh, yeah, Madhu said it got super close to my TP, but never closed for me. It was probably because of the spread, Madhu. I'm looking at the spread right now on FTMO. Spread is about 300. It's going between 110 pips to 420 pips. So the spread's actually really wide right now on FTMO. I don't know if you guys have it on your screen, but I'm looking at it right now. It's changing. It's going from under 10 to 220 to 320 to now 420. It's just going up and down. So what might have happened is price would have got close to your TP, and then the spread might have widened out, and then you couldn't have pulled out profit, fortunately. Let's see. Oh gosh, yeah, I could see D's response to you over here as well. D said, Madhu, the most recent triple came to close to stop loss, but it hit TP for me. Red flag on the trade would have been a large candle entry. It's exactly what I just mentioned. And she said, would have been best to enter on the retrace. Might have hit your stop loss due to the spread. Yeah, I know it's unfortunate. Looks like you hit your stop loss, Madhu, but D over here, it actually hit her TP. So that team does not account for that, just like any other broker. Doesn't matter what broker you're using, they're gonna account for the spread, because you have to factor in the spread into your trade. So no, they're not gonna account for it, but yeah, D over here hit her TP. So she took that same exact trade that you just referred to, but her TP actually hit. All right here, so nice work, D. All wins over here so far. A total profit of 936 for the day. Bianca over here as well. Bianca locked in a total of 9,104. She has all sells here. You can see that she's trading the direction of bias, and she pretty much has been like locking in profits. She's scooping up profits here and there whenever price comes back down. So nice work right there, Bianca. Other than that, I mean, yeah, it sucks, Madhu, that happened to you, but they're not going to account for that. It's not their problem, right? Spread is like the most basic thing that everyone should understand. Spread is variable. It's not always the same. It's going to change from time to time, but that's pretty much how brokers make their money, right? They get people caught in the spread, which is typical way of them manipulating spread to stop you out. So other than that, guys, we have news coming up shortly right here. But I mean, great profits across everyone here so far. I mean, it looks like everyone here did pretty solid. I mean, you guys did a lot better than me, honestly, for today. I only took about 3 or 4 trades here. They did hit solid, but nothing like everyone else over here. Tiana over here as well. All wins for the day so far, locked in a total of 1,211. Nice work, Tiana. I'll just copy this over to the other accounts here as well. And if you guys have more profits, feel free to send them in. I'll add them to our profit posting for the day. Nice. Looks like Charles just passed his FTMO. So let me just copy this over real quick. Nice. Maddie said he caught the pivot scalp. Nice work, guys. So some of you guys here are still catching some pretty solid trades if you guys are able to catch them quickly enough. There was a pivot scalp right here. These trades are just a little too risky, guys, for my liking. So I'm not really, you have to be like really on point following these right here. There's a pivot scalp right there that looks like Maddie and Madhu caught, both you guys. Nice, D caught it as well. D said, I just caught one more push, hit 1,000 for the day. Going to sign off with that. Have a good day, everyone. Nice. Rami's asking if this was a triple confluence. Let me count it real quick. 1, 2, 3. It's not a triple confluence because this low here was never established. There has to be like 5 or 6 candles that pass it. So unfortunately, no triple confluence here. It's just a pivot scalp, which is like one component of the triple confluence. Nice. Vince caught it as well. Vince said he caught it for 500 pips. Rami said he caught it for 100 pips. Nice. Damn, you guys are killing it. A lot of you guys here are catching these moves here even quicker than quicker than I am. I didn't catch it, so I don't have it on mine, but looks like a lot of you guys here did catch it. As you guys can see, price is now ranging. It's getting tighter. Price is starting to squeeze within this area right here. There's a lot of liquidity on the top side, and there's a lot of liquidity here on the bottom side. So just keep that in mind. Over here. So I'm not going to review any more trades, guys, because I know I do see what Maria said. She said we're missing a lot of these official entries because I keep reviewing like different trades here. So I'm not going to review any more trades during the live, guys. If you guys want me to review anything, we'll review it during the mentoring session. For now, we're just going to focus on the chart and see if there's any actual entries for us to take at the moment. There was a pivot scalp there. There was a triple confluence right there. There was a V3 right here. So there was about 3 or 4 entries. So if you guys are wondering what entries we're talking about, this right here was a triple confluence. If you guys are new here and you guys are wondering what strategy, if you guys have access to the K2 strategies, you guys have access to all these strategies right here. So you guys can learn pretty much all these strategies to apply on your own. Basically, the reason why a lot of people here are locking in profits on their own, like D here, locking in all these trades, is because she knows the strategies. Same with, everyone else here, Bianca, etc. Narith, all these people here know the strategy, so they don't have to wait for me to call it an entry for them. So right here, this is a triple confluence. That's one that D caught. This strategy right here was a version 3 variation. So V3 right here, that's the strategy that was applied right there. That's what Maddie locked in. If I go down here to Maddie's profits, so Maddie over here locked in 144, or technically 240 off that trade. 120 off this one, and then 380 off this one right here, using this strategy, the V3 variation. Again, right here, Maddie took another trade right here off this candle, and that's another strategy. The strategy he took right there with Madhu was the pivot scalp. Again, all these strategies are taught in the course. So if you guys are not in the course and you guys are not familiar with the strategies, it'd be best that you guys go and learn the strategy so that you guys can anticipate these moves here. So as you can see right there, I just showed you 3 different strategies that were applied by 3 different people. And they locked in profits for all of these right here. They have a scalping trade there for a sell. And that's the last trade that Maddie took. So the 1,000 right here is from the V3, and the 380 is from the pivot scalp right there, because he only went for about 100 pips. Yeah. Exactly. So if you guys are here in the chat, Maddie said, pivot scalp, momentum signals, pivots, all fundamentals, need to master those fully to understand the variations. And yeah, if you guys understand the strategies there, you guys can pick these up pretty quickly. The speculative trades that I ran this morning, that's not going to be taught in the course, but for these other strategies, you guys can find them there. Yeah, exactly. Patricia said, yep, they all correlate, which is 100% correct. Other than that, there's not really much else for us to look at here. There's nothing off the 10. As you guys can see, look at the area of liquidity again right here. Price dumped down below it, hit this area of liquidity, and it shot right through it again, right there. So I don't be surprised if it pushed lower, and it did. Actually, just took another speculative trade, guys. Sorry, I'm hopping into these speculative trades. These aren't official trades though; these are just speculative. So as I mentioned earlier, guys, if price comes down, hits the middle area again. So this is what I just mentioned earlier this morning, right? I said if price pulls up, comes back down, and hits the half area, it's going to go and push to the next level, which it did. So I locked in another 935 off that. I'm just pretty much scooping up profits here and there because I'm missing these official trades. But if we see any more official trades, we'll take whatever we can find, but there's nothing available right now. Now, again, price is again right here in the middle of this area. I think overall price will push down to this area of liquidity, but it's not going to be a smooth push down. It's not just going to dump from here straight down, right? It's not just going to do that. What might happen here is price might retrace up a little bit and then come back down for another push. Oh, you're right, Maddie. That was my bad too. I actually took a trade right here, right at news. I totally forgot there was news at 7:30. So there's a news push, right? The news push right there. Let's just refresh the calendar real quick. There was news here at 7:30. It was low impact news, so it's not really anything too crazy. News was positive, negative 3.4 mil crude oil inventories, meaning that the crude oil is selling. So looking at that right there, we had that little push. I'll mark up news price right here. Delete that. So there goes news price right there. You get that little initial push to the upside, and then price is probably going to come right back down. It's just a quick push to the upside. And there you go. As price makes its way, obviously, right back down to news price there. So, all right. Other than that, see what happens here from there. Nice. Brock said he took 10 points off it too. So nice for Brock. Three said he won 3 trades in a row using a sell stop. Yeah, typically you can do that if you know like where price is going. Like that's kind of what I do sometimes. I don't do it all the time, but when prices pull back like that, sometimes I do set a sell stop for it to catch it on its way back down. Let's see. I think there's more profits here as well. So there's actually a lot of profits here that have been posted. So let's see. Let me go from the bottom here so I make sure I don't miss anything. Peter here. Nice work, Peter. So this is Peter's second day here at K2. He locked in some pretty solid profit overall. Said he looks, let's see. He locked in about 738. So it's about 10, 20, 30, 50. So about 70 bucks here in profit. Nice work, Peter. On his basically his second day here. He said small lots with early closing as I was not familiar with the liquidity pushes. As I see more of this, I hope to become confident with these setups, which you will, Peter. It's all a matter of practice, continuation, consistency, right? Because you just keep learning and you keep applying the same thing over and over again where you just get better at it. So great work right there, Peter. And this is Peter's like second day here at K2. So it's pretty good consistency there after just 2 days with us. Like you can see Peter here, he said he was new to the team, joined on the 17th. Today's the 18th, and he's had pretty much great consistency so far. So nice work, Peter. Patricia over here as well, locked in a total of 3,515 for the day. Nice work, Patricia. Strolling up further, Charles over here. He just passed another FTMO challenge. Nice work right there, Charles. Other than that, I don't really see anything else here for us at the moment. I'm going to keep looking for anything for us to take. I'm back here on the 1 minute. There's nothing for us to take right now. We just have another area of liquidity below here. Just going to mark that up right there. Another area right here. But other than that, I think that's it for now. Yeah, Maddie says he's looking for another variation off the pivots or near the pivots. Yeah, probably if it pushes below news price though, Maddie. That's kind of what I'm waiting for myself. Because again, guys, if you guys look at the red flags, I avoid trades and prices near news price. So I need it to come below it. Or I can take something. Peter said press briefing by the White House COVID-19 response team. Thanks, Peter. We have some news coming up with regard to COVID in the next 10 minutes. So good to know. Other than that, let's see if there's anything else here that I'm missing. I think that's a bit about it for now. There's nothing on the 1 minute, nothing on the 3 minute, nothing on the 5, and nothing on the 10. I do expect price to come down at some point, but with the COVID news coming up, you know, there might be changes. So we'll see. I'm gonna step away for 1 second, guys. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. All right, guys, I'm back. Looking over at the FTMO spread, it's pretty wide right now. I don't know what's going on. The spread's been kind of crazy today. It's been bouncing around from like 100 to like 400, actually more over 400. Yeah, Patricia said, watch that news. It's not going to be good. Yeah, I'm probably going to be done taking trades, speculative or not speculative, once the COVID news comes out, because I've seen news reports where I guess it's getting worse again in New York. There's been a lot of cases of new COVID cases in New York. So I could already tell this press briefing is not going to be good for the market. Not necessarily price wise, but you're going to see some like volatility spikes because I know they have a new vaccine out for, I don't know what it was, for Pfizer, I think, where they can give them to children now. So obviously it's not going to be good. You're going to see some unusual movements in price. Let me see if there's anything else going on today as well. I don't think there's any other actual news here, like specific news, but I know there's going to be some news regarding Pfizer because they're going to talk about the new Pfizer vaccine for children, and it's going to affect certain stocks. Pfizer is part of US30, or I think it is. I don't know if it still is, but I know that it was before. Refresh this real quick. I don't know if Pfizer's still on here. Are they? Actually, I don't know if they are anymore, unless they're part of Procter and Gamble or Johnson. No, they're not, because they're obviously. Yeah, John said every time COVID goes away, people relax, and COVID comes back, and people and COVID comes back, and this will keep repeating itself. Yeah, and I agree, John. COVID will never go away, guys. It'll keep coming back. It'll come out with new vaccines. It's always going to be in the news, and it's going to affect the market one way or another. Let me see if there's anything else here that I'm missing. Okay, so price is still bouncing around news price again, as we mentioned earlier. It's bouncing around the area, for the most part. Yeah, Medu said price is having trouble getting below news price. Yeah, and this is why we try to avoid news price, guys, because you can see right here, price is having a lot of trouble getting below it. It's making its attempt, but it's it's obviously having issues getting below it. The main thing that you guys want to be concerned with is going to be the spread on FTMO. So if you guys try to trade around areas like this, spread is kind of wide. So if you try to go in for like 100 pip TP, you're really going to have to go for like 400 to 500 pips because you got to cover that spread before you make any profit. So that's why you guys want to be careful. Like right now is not a good time to take speculative trades because you think that you're going for 100 pips, but in reality, you have to go for like a bigger push because you're not going to be able to pull out of your position. So say, for example, you go into a position for 100 pips. I'll just show you, for example, here. So say your TP is 100 pips, right? This is what you're trying to go for. But say your spread is 400 pips, right? So realistically, you have to really get below here to cover your spread. So basically what I'm trying to say here is that it's going to be almost virtually impossible for you to get out of the position with what you're looking for because you just don't have, you're not going to be able to cover the spread. Let's see here that I'm looking at. So this is what I'm trying to explain to you guys. This is what happened to you earlier, Madhu. The problem was that you were like right at your TP, but you had to cover the spread. So the spread was like 400 pips. This is why you weren't able to get out because your TP was like right here. And you're like, oh, what the heck, it should have pulled me out, right? But the spread was so wide that you technically had to be like way down here. So what probably happened was it got past your TP. And this is where your price was. You probably were just like, a few points, like a tenth of a point away from your TP. Your entry point was probably different from D's. So D got out in profit, but unfortunately you got stuck in the position. So Yeah, you guys probably want to be careful, especially I can see the spread right now. It's kind of fluctuating. It's going between 110 to 440. Yeah, exactly. Maddie said I would pull it if it's hitting your TP but not closing on you. So like what you should do is if you guys are in a position, make sure that you're following the actual chart. Like if you're trading on MT4, make sure that you're looking at the chart. If it's below your TP and you're in profit, I would just close out manually instead of letting it hit your TP. Because if the spread gets all crazy, you're going to get screwed. But yeah, hopefully that makes sense with regard to spread. Spread looks, never mind. I take it back. I was going to say spread looks normal, but it's going back to like, it's just bouncing between 110 to 220 to 320 to 440, like every couple of seconds. Let's see if there's anything else here that I'm missing. I don't really see anything else here. Yeah, I don't really see anything else here, guys. If you guys have any more questions, feel free to put them in the chat. It's 7:42 right now, so it is getting close to 8, close to our log off time. I don't see any entries here, no official entries. So there's nothing here off the 10. I'm gonna clean this up again right here. At this point, there's no areas of liquidity to really mess with here on the 10-minute. You typically want, so this is what you're looking for. There's no area of liquidity here, but I'm gonna use this as an example. If you had liquidity right there, and then you have something like this, right? This is the liquidity that you're looking for, because if price comes down and hits this point in the direction of the bias, then typically it's going to push down lower, right? And that's kind of what I see happening right here. So what I see happening right here is I see price pushing up slightly. It'll push down a little bit like to right here. And then it pushes back up from here. What happens when this happens, this pattern right here? When this happens, it creates another level of liquidity right there, right? So when this pushes up, the next time it comes back down, it's going to hit that liquidity, and then it'll break right through to the next level. This is the pattern that I kind of see building up right here. Exactly, yeah, exactly, Maddie. So Maddie identified it perfectly. He said another liquidity and take it to the take it at halfway mark. And the halfway mark is right here, right? The halfway of that. If you go for like 100 pips, there goes your quick scalp right there. Or you can take it from down there as well. This is what Gallo did. Gallo basically puts a sell stop there, catches it, comes down, hits a TP. Yeah, exactly. Maddie said, I think it's important because you can tap liquidity and bounce back up, need it to break. And I agree with you too, Maddie. The only time I would take it in the middle like that, if there was a third level. So if there was a third level like right here, then yeah, I guess that middle point, then you'd catch it to the next one right there. Yeah, smart move, Gallo. Glad to see that you locked that in. And you've seen it before, because I know you've been here for a while, Gallo. So you've seen that, the previous times we've actually done this. But it's a quick move. Vincent over here with his profits, he said, hit my goal for the day. Done. Thanks, bro. So he locked in a total of 1,034 off this account. Nice work, Vincent. Then he locked in another one right here, 1,235. So solid work right there, Vincent. Joshua over here, he locked in a total of 956 off this account. So nice work right there, Joshua. His second account over here locked in a total of 482. Kenny over here, locked in a total of 4,776. Nice work, Kenny. You guys can see these are all different people in K2. It's not just like one or two people locking in profits. A lot of people here, pretty much stacking it up. I'm missing something here. I'm just gonna go to this next page. Kenny again right there, 4,000. Miriam over here. Nice work, Miriam. All wins, no losses. Pretty much check sells in the direction of bias, locked in a total of 1,064. Nice work, Miriam. Nelly over here said, huge shout out to Sean because I've grown so much as a trader between my discipline, risk management, confidence, and not over trading anymore. I can take losses and still move on with a clear mind. Before, losses would frustrate me, have me over emotional and over trading, trying to make my money back. So yeah, Nelly over here, he took that loss, unfortunately, right, from that triple confluence. Typically he would probably overtrade and give up from that point, but he stayed on track. So he didn't really let that bother him. He went back to break even after that trade and he made his profit right back over here. He's in profit a total of 3,616. So nice work right there, Nelly. And that's really key, guys. It's all about trade psychology, right? Trade psychology, being able to bounce from your losses. Patrick over here said, didn't find anything opening in New York today, but he'll take what he got this morning. He locked in a total of 2,850. So nice work, Patrick. And lastly, over here, Tiana, on this account, all wins, no losses, locked in a total of 1,401. So great work right there, Tiana. Other than that, I think that's about it. Narith over here as well, locked in a total of 4,043. So great work right there too, Narith. And I think that's about it for the profits. See if there's anything else that I'm missing. Let's see, Maddie said, would you take it as soon as it? I would take it in the middle of the two, Maddie. Or like somewhere below it. Yeah, either that or if there was a 3 line or maybe even below the second line. Maddie, just depends on how strong the volatility is. Anyways, back to the charts over here. Maddie said there's a V1 pending. Let's see. Yeah, I guess looks like there could be a V1 pending over here on the 3-minute. 5. Yeah, not really much right now to take at the moment, guys. It's about to be 7:50. So if you guys have any other questions, feel free to put your questions in the chat. I already know we're going to get a lot of questions regarding this liquidity type strategy during the mentoring session today. So if you guys want to sit in on that, we'll go over it in detail. I don't want to spend too much time on it here because not everyone's here. But later today during the mentoring session, I already know we're going to get a lot of questions regarding that. So I'll be prepared to kind of explain it to you guys when we get to that point. Other than that, I think that might be it for right now. Let me see if there's anything else for us to look at. Going back to the overall bias, we'll refresh this right here. The retail sentiment is currently 68% long. Don't pay attention to this right here, guys. I see a lot of people look at this here and they think that price is bullish, which it's not. So it says bullish right here, but price is obviously bearish. So don't really pay attention to this right here. This is just indicating where the net long, net short is. So right here, you can see it's 68% long, indicating that yes, retail traders are bullish, but the market isn't necessarily bullish. I see people get this confused quite a bit, but you can see right here that a lot of people are trying to buy the dip. You can see this number here is increasing. It's now 69% long. So what's happening here is a lot of people are thinking that, okay, price needs to go up from here, right? Don't think like everyone else. Think the opposite. If everyone thinks price is going to go up, price is really going to go down. So I'm not looking for any bias here. I'm looking for a sell because retail sentiment is 68% long. Looking over here at the fundamentals. Fundamentals are currently down 533 points. The White House is going to have a press briefing conference on COVID-19. This is not good news. So if this happens right here, you could expect price to drop even further, especially with the new cases, possibility of bringing masks back. You know, nothing good for the economy, nothing good for the world in general. Other than that, I think that's about it. I don't see anything else here for us to really look at. Looking at the heat map over here, everything's still pretty red. Yeah, it's still very red here. There's a couple of green stocks, Visa, which is up less than a point, Verizon, which is up less than a point as well, and Caterpillar, which is up 2 points, which not going to make a big deal. It's small market cap right there. So yeah, I think overall we should continue looking for a sell. What I can see happening here is this might establish another low at some point. going to create an area of liquidity. And then from there, it'll probably dump the next time it comes to test. Looking at the 5, there's no V3 here because we need a pending sell. There's a sell signal right here, so it's not going to fit. This right here, nothing there. And right here was another V3. Stop loss was too tight though. Yeah, Rami said V3 right here. If you're going for the small, like if you aren't following the minimum stop loss requirement, yes, this would have been a V3 and it would have hit, but it wouldn't qualify as an official, like, you know, solid entry here because the minimum stop loss requirement, which Rami did identify and he did mention. Nice. Yeah, Maddie said V3 back to back with a pivot scalp with this momentum signal right there. But again, right here, look where price is currently at. News price. So either way, it's not one that, you know, I would want to take because it's another red flag. Red flag, price is near news price. Yeah, exactly. Sam said close to news price, which I agree. Tiana said, looking at higher time frames, like the 1 hour, I believe it's going to go back up. So here's the thing. If you just base everything off technical analysis, typically it's not going to work out that way. So, but yeah, Tiana's looking at it the same way everyone else is looking at it, right? There's a reason why everyone here is buying, because everybody thinks price needs to swing up because they think price dips. This is the problem with like the analysis of just looking at technical analysis. People think just because price is dipping, price has to come back up, right? But look at every time price dipped over here, price never came back up, right? If you kept buying when price was dipping at these points, you would have like multiple blown accounts at this point, right? Same with this over here. People think just because price is at a low, it's going to have to dip back up. But this is what typically happens. It pushes up a little bit to give people hope. And then it comes back down and stops them out. They try to buy the dip again right here. It goes up slightly. It gives some people some hope. And then it stops them out again, right? It's just a downward spiral. That's why I never trade off technicals here. A lot of people like to trade off technicals. I could tell like majority of people who just trade technicals blow accounts or they don't do so well long term because the technicals here don't really give the bigger picture. The bigger picture is given from retail sentiment because trading is all it's all psychological. I'm sure you guys have heard that from a lot of people who are actually good at trading. It's all psychological. If everyone's buying, you don't want to do what everyone's doing because price is typically not going to go in that direction. So for me specifically, I wouldn't take any buys at this moment, guys. Everything here is pointing towards a sell. Retail sentiment says to take a sell. Fundamentals here to say they're a sell as well. I mean, everything here is literally telling us to take a sell. COVID is coming out, another sell here as well too. So, I mean, if you guys want to buy, feel free. I'm hoping it'll work your way. Maybe for a short-term move, but long-term, I wouldn't take a buy here. I mean, if you look here on the higher time, the 4 hour, price looks like it's going to keep dropping, honestly. So here's one thing that you guys can do. Check this out. You know how we use liquidity on a 10-minute and other time frames? There's actually liquidity sitting right here too. So while people are looking to take buys, if price hits this point right here, I'm expecting it to drop even further because liquidity works the same way. It doesn't matter what time frame you guys are trading on. You know, pretty much works the same way. So other than that, let's see, it's about to be 8 o'clock, guys. So I don't have any other questions here. If you guys have any other questions, you guys are more than welcome to send them to me. Just a reminder, we're having our mentoring session later today at 2 p.m. So if you guys do have questions, we'll go over it. But I think right now at the moment, there's not really much for us to take. Main reason I don't have any entries here available is because price is still near news price, which is one of the red flags. So even if we got a V3 here or anything really, I wouldn't take a trade because it's right at the news price. See if there's anything else here that I'm missing. Some more profits here from Narith. Narith actually took a sell right there, locked in a total of 2,425 or 2,452. Total profit of 7,652 for the day. So nice work, Narith. Surin over here, locked in a total of 991 euros. Nice work, Surin. And Maddie over here, locked in 245 off this account. Locked in 492 off this account. Nice recovery, Maddie. So you had that loss earlier and then you bounced right back. And then again, right here, looks like there's some slippage on your other MFF account because it doesn't align with your other ones here, which it's all good. I get that fixed soon, hopefully. Yeah, Maddie said they on that BS again. Yeah, I agree. Vincent over here as well. Locked in a total of 1,514. Nice work, Vincent. All right, guys. So it's getting close to 8. It's 3 minutes till 8. So I think that's about it for today. There's nothing else that we can take at the moment. Price is right at news price. So I do expect it to continue to bounce around here until later. Hopefully, at some point, price is going to drop. Probably at the end of this press conference right here. You know, when they start to go over the bad news regarding COVID. Price may just dump below here. Basically, what you're looking for is you're looking for price from below here. Maybe consolidate and range around that area and then come down lower. But you don't want to trade around this area where price just stays around the news price. So, all right, guys, I think that might be it for now. If you guys have any questions, I would probably just save it for the mentoring session later because we can go over this more in detail. You know, you probably don't want to miss this mentoring session if you want me to go over liquidity. You guys can kind of follow along with how I take the speculative trades. I don't ever plan on making it an official strategy, but I will go over it during the mentoring session so that you guys understand what I'm doing and what a lot of other people here in the group are doing as well. But yeah, guys, other than that, I think that's it. So I'll see you guys in a couple hours. It's 8 o'clock right now. So I'll have the mentoring session at 2 p.m., which is at about 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, in about 6 hours. So in about 6 hours, we'll be back for the mentoring session. But until then, I would probably be careful in the market, guys, specifically because this COVID response press briefing is going on right now. But overall, I would be looking for a sell. Reason for a sell is because retail sentiment is still 68% long, and the fundamentals here are still very bearish. So, all right, guys, I'll see you guys then.